Hello, welcome to our after spring break week for 4100 complex coping conditions this week for the next 3 weeks actually. So we're now at Unit C, Learning Module, and you'll see in the module that there is a printable overview which is on this page as well as the assignments. And what we want to discover is that there's a wide range of physiological processes that are associated with critical or chronic disease and illness. And in this particular unit, you'll also focus on your caregiver assignment and completion of the interview in order for that paper to be written. So what we're going to do is to look at the ability to work with other disciplines when developing care for chronically ill patients. We want to formulate and implement evidence-based nursing interventions. And also we're going to look at nursing theories and how they might apply to our individual care that we provide for those with chronic illness. And then we'll also look at role transition here in family caregiving, and these are mandatory readings. I'd like you to make sure that you at least browse all of these because they will help you in your unit discussion. So we're going to look at caring for older adults, which most of you for your caregiver project are interviewing adults, but there are a few of you that are interviewing caregivers of pediatric infants or children, and so that article there might be useful for you. You also want to look at this article on caregiving and how that role may be transitioned into. This one here is related to older patients, and then there's one about transitioning from hospital to home care where the caregiver also needs to oftentimes become the caregiver in a short period of time and how that may influence care. The next section is on end of life, and there's just a few articles talking about end of life discussions, transitions from home to hospice, pain management at the end of life, which sometimes is comfort care, and there is debate as to whether that is somewhat like assisted suicide versus non-assisted suicide, and I'll let you all form your own opinions on that. And then a little bit about palliative care and dying with dignity. So the assignments this unit are the readings, which will take probably the majority of your efforts, and then your caregiver paper and the week 10 discussion, so that's due in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to go back to our modules page just so you can look here. I've moved Unit C to the top so that you can see that. So the first assignment due in this unit is due on on Friday, March 26th. That's your Unit C discussion. We'll open that real quick and you can see what that is. I'm sorry, I bumped something and made some noise here. So what you're going to do is you're going to talk about one of the nursing theories that you looked at, and then relate that to comfort care, hospice and palliative care, and relationships between family members and caregivers, as well as what your responsibility might be as the nurse in caring for families that have needs for chronic illness that may be proceeding to comfort care or palliative care. And there's some guidelines for you to look at right here, which you can look at. So that will be the discussion, and that again is due, the initial post on Friday, March 26th, and then you'll have the reply due the following Monday. Returning to the module, we will also see that there are a couple of videos for you to watch in relation to the unit. I think they're quite interesting. And then there's some optional material here on end of life and palliative care if you're interested in glancing at that. I would at least open it and then figure out what you need to do. And then moving on down here to Unit D, we'll be working on our genetics group project and another team evaluation there. We've had a couple people drop the class, so I'm going to ask that each of you go in and make sure that you have a partner for this group project. I am okay if one group has 3 people in it, if we need to do that, which I think we will, based on the number of students that are no longer in the course. And if you would update that in the link, I'll put that in this announcement as well, and we'll assume that that is all taken care of. I have graded your team evaluations for the education project, and I have briefly reviewed several of the postings in that education plan submission. I'll be grading those this week. I appreciate the efforts on that. It looks like you've all done a great job. I hope each of you had some downtime during spring break. I didn't want to communicate with you or grade during that period of time so that you could potentially take some time and do what you needed to do. I think you're doing a great job in the course. Please let me know if there's anything that you need. I'm available. My cell phone number, should you need it, is 385-283-9913. Sorry, I had to look it up because I just had it changed. But if you need anything, you're welcome to text me and ask me to call you, and I can get in touch with you that way as well. Once again, I thank you for your efforts in this mostly self-directed class. It's set up that you can kind of work at your own pace, and I know that there are some of you who have worked ahead a little bit, which is okay. Just know that I will not grade any assignment until the majority of students have turned in that assignment, because not only do I look at the expectations for the assignment, but I do a little bit of compare and contrast. And if students all tend to have the same concern or issue, then I don't take any points off for that. And again, just let me know if you have any questions about the assignments. I think you're doing a great job, and I appreciate you and your efforts in the class. Have a good week. Thanks.